Being none, we'll stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no approval of minutes at this point. First item on the agenda, board correspondence, which there is none. Report, general manager's report.
Good evening. The August general manager's report, in addition to the previous meetings, Brookridge also lost one of my favorite people, Ray Starr. A celebration of life ceremony is in the planning, and our heartfelt sympathies go out to his wife Luann and the family. Attached is a summary report of the clubhouse floor project, which I'll read shortly. Tar Seal contractor has confirmed the quote does include cleaning and preparation of the parking lot surface before seal coating, and also traffic cones to mark off no entry traffic. And the exact starting date is today. Report on clubhouse floors project. The board approved $124,260 for the new flooring and wainscoting for Nature Coast Flooring Cabinets quote on April 4th, 2019. The board approved a better tile by Shaw on April 17th for an additional $10,040.16. The expense for the floor preparation was not known until the old tile was demolished. During the demolition process, the State Environment Agency showed up stating that they had an anonymous tip that we were removing asbestos floor tile. We hired Husky Corporation for $1,000 out of Tampa, a licensed asbestos firm, to test the flooring materials. All tiles were negative except the brown linoleum installed in D room had a 2% chrysotile contamination. As a result, we hired ADS Services from Tampa to remove the material and disposal in accordance with Florida laws for $4,750. That was completed on June 7th and work resumed on the tile demolition. All communications of these issues were discussed between management and the board president. On Monday, June 24th, Randy Overall, the contractor, came to my office and informed me he had no more money to buy the remaining materials or pay the installers. We had paid him $87,295.10 down payment on April 16th, and then another $19,535.20 for floor preparation on June 12th. Vince then did an inventory of the materials on hand, and only a portion had been delivered. Our balance due to the contract was $47,005.06 at this time. So I requested the order for the remaining inventory supplies be shipped directly to the clubhouse, and we would make our payment directly to Shaw, the supplier. We tried to complete this before the July 4th holiday, but did not, and the materials were delivered to the clubhouse on July 8th. We informed Friday Bingo that we could open on the 12th, but they elected to extend their closing into July 19th. And Bingo resumed Friday, July 19th. On July 1st, we received the quote from Floor Designs LLC to complete all the remaining work, which was $39,000. Randy Overall was continuing to install tile and claimed he would finish the entire project by July 29th, except for the wainscoting. Randy continued to work up until 7 or 8 p.m. laying tile and completed the library, hallway, and gym in South Hall. He completed most of the floor preparation in the East Wing. Director Nutter had inquired about the project, voicing her concerns about rumors she had heard. I reached her by messenger and she agreed to meet me in the clubhouse on Friday, July 19th, around 3 p.m. Bingo was set up and the hall was active. I walked Director Nutter around the entire clubhouse, including the closed sections, the library, the gym, and D-room. I told her of the contractor's financial situation, our attorney's input to get a new contractor quote to finish the job, and at that time the anticipated cost overruns was $15,000. Her reaction was subdued and in agreement with our action and plans to continue. The wainscoting material installed only up to the South Hall, leaving that incomplete. Vince provided measurements to complete the South Hall, library hallway, and on July 15th we ordered the material from Home Depot for $2,612.09. We paid an installer $1,000 to complete the wainscoting installation in the main hall. Vince and I discussed the wainscoting and elected to buy a less costly version of the wainscoting for the gym and the library from Home Depot for $797.77. The gym is complete and the library works in process. I asked the Shaw Territory Manager, John Cox, to meet us at the clubhouse on July 22nd to review the installation to confirm our warranty on the materials. On Monday, July 22nd, Randy Overall came to my office and told me he cannot continue with the project due to health and financial reasons. He apologized and provided the names and phone numbers of the installers if I wished to hire them. I then went to meet John Cox and Ron Ross in the clubhouse to discuss the project. John Cox said they would warranty the materials and offered some suggestions to repair the tile flares. At this meeting, I informed all there of Randy Overall's office visit just moments earlier and him quitting the job. I later called both the installers, Tony and Nelson, and asked of their availability to complete the project at the rate provided by Randy Overall. Neither would be available until mid-August. I thanked them and informed them that we were obligated, according to our attorney, to pay their labor contract from Nature Coast Flooring. We paid both and received release of liens for a total of $5,646, and also one for $225 from Affordable Hauling LLC. We contacted Floor Designs with the remaining measurements and asked for an updated quote to complete the project and a date they could begin. The revised estimate after Randy finished more tiles in the hall was $11,985, and they could begin Monday, July 29th. We agreed and asked them to complete the work. We had to add the library and the storage rooms to the revised estimate, some additional adhesive, sanding pads, 5-inch baseboards, and some floor prep was needed in the C room and the hallway. Our final invoice was $15,721. With $3,000 still needed in the hallway wainscoting, which is now on back order from Home Depot, that will result in a total cost overrun of $16,719.59, which includes the asbestos contractors for $57.50 and $1,499 for the storage pods. Our attorney has sent notice of Nature Coast Flooring for civil remedy for theft or exploitation, and I attached for the directors a financial report on the project. Thank you.
Next up is the monthly violation report. I have page of that report shows there were, if I can get to it with my sticky finger here, 93 violations total for the month. And that report shows the ones that were noticed, the ones that have been closed, the ones that have moved forward from there. Security crime report.
This is a 2-month report since we did not meet in July. There were 11 incidents over the course of the past 8 weeks. There was a domestic battery on Rialto, a criminal mischief on Rialto, burglary of a means of conveyance on Misty. There was a petty theft on Starcross. There was a petty theft on Brookridge Boulevard. There was a burglary of a dwelling on Scepter, a battery on Scepter, a DUI on Fontaine. There was a lewd, lascivious act of a child on Modena. There was a grand theft on Misty and a possession of drug paraphernalia on Rialto. Again, I'd like to indicate that these are just reports. These may or may not turn out to be actual crimes.
Thank you, Captain Schubert. Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report as of July 31st. A balance on hand operating funds is $162,993.78. Income, we had $64,769.61 in accounts receivable assessments. We have $62,818.13 in VRC funds owed. The liens on file at the present time, yearly total is 54 for $106,205.55. Our income for the month was $139,414.29. Operating expenses, administration $30,160.76, facilities $25,608.51. Public Works, $17,443.77. Code Enforcement, $25,258.92 for a total of $98,471.96, which gives us a budget of at this time of $1,234,525, or 60% of our total annual budget. In the reserve account, we have $1,686,655,000. The reserve expenses, $43,168.02 for the clubhouse flooring. Social club account balance, $29,294.51. Donated funds, paid out $292.64 for the town hall meetings and staff meetings. 4th of July, $676.59. The clubhouse wish list for cameras, $731.14. And electricity for the entry sign, $2,225, for a total of $3,925.37.
Thank you, Rosemary. At the last workshop on Tuesday of this month, we had approved the appointment of Mr. Ralph Bidgood to the AVRC committee. He was not able to be with us at that point, and I'm not sure Mr. Good is here and back. If he'll come up to the podium, please, we can get you sworn in. Mr. Bidgood, would you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly promise and swear that you'll administer the office to which you've been appointed to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with governing documents of Brookridge Community Property Owners Incorporated? That you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the citizens of Brookridge and the welfare of its members. Do you so swear? You can put your hand down. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the AVRC committee, and thank you for volunteering.
We'll see you tomorrow. We got a meeting tomorrow morning. Absolutely. Put you right to work, 9 o'clock.
I have an appointment down at the VA.
Okay. No problem.
See you next month. Thanks for volunteering, Ralph.
We have a new business agenda item for the RV committee member appointment. We're going to hold that until our next meeting, the first of the month, Tuesday meeting, 9 o'clock here at the clubhouse. You'll have to work and figure out the date on that. I'm not going to give you the date, but you'll figure it out. Directorate report. I'll start on my left hand end with Ms. Nutter. Any director's reports?
Director's reports.
Nothing? Ms. Webster? Mr. Sajak?
Remind my AVRC folks, 9 o'clock tomorrow at the office. See you bright and early. Thank you.
Ms. Smith?
The front sign, everybody's probably noticed that the front sign has started. It's held up a little bit right now, waiting for county approval. And on the rods that are going into the concrete, they have to come and approve that before we can go any farther. We're still about $1,600 short, and so we're continuing to work on that. So if anybody feels they'd like to give a little extra, you can go up to the admin building and give a little extra. And but we're working at some of our vendors, getting some of our vendors to contribute as well.
Ms. Basiri?
At the present time, our Finance Committee is just about finished with their work on the budget for 2020. We will be meeting on Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the conference room to tweak some of the things that we have to tweak to, and I will be presenting it to Ray with the budget and the new fee schedules for after the meeting on Friday.
Mr. Matthews?
I got the report of the Brookridge RV compound walkthrough for July 10th, 2019, and this report was written by Recording Secretary of the RV compound, Linda Walls. We had the following volunteers at July 10th, 2019 walkthrough: Terry Jaimez, Pat Menard, and Gary Thomas. RV compound committee members Ken and Linda Walls, Margie Violet, and myself, as Ken calls me, the liaison. In the month of July, 9 door hangers were given out for violations in the RV compound. Lots 16, 20, 54, 189, 204, 205, 227, 232, and 515. Of the above referenced 6 sites, 16, 189, 204, 205, 232, and 515 have complied with the violations. 2 were turned over to code enforcement on August 2nd, 20 and 54. Site 20 has now complied with their violations. Site 227, Ken talked to the unit owners. that are up north, and they will be returning in October, and will take care of the violations at that time. On August 9th, 2019, 7 additional door hangers were given out based on the violations from the July walkthrough for sites 72, 75, 79, 112, 113, 114, and 137. They have 14 days to comply, and if they do not, if they do not repair or have not replied, wait a minute, and if they have not complied, or contacted Ken in regards to a status report on the completion of their violation, then at the end of the 14 days, these will be turned over to code enforcement. When talking to the unit owners, most were receptive and agreed to take care of their violations.
Thank you. We'll go now to member comments. I'll start again on my left-hand end. Ms. Leonard, member comments?
I have several questions. The security and crime report. Do these individuals in these homes call security, or do they call the sheriff's department?
Some do call security, and we refer them, based upon what I find, I refer them to the sheriff's department. Some automatically call the sheriff's department. But again, these are just reports of crimes. The sheriff will investigate and refer to the, I guess down here it's the state's attorney, to whether to prosecute or not.
Do these individuals, if they do have these infractions, what is our recourse with them?
To be quite honest, not much. If they are a resident and have already passed a background check, they are in Brookridge. If they are a visitor, we still, under other state laws, if that homeowner wishes them to visit their home again, we have to allow them through our gate.
Thank you. I also would like to comment on the general manager's report. I would like to know, I asked in the last meeting, why the board was not informed about these infractions with this contractor. Also, why did we give them $87,295.10 for a down payment? That is not 1/3. And I've heard many times up here, we give 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And when I had a conversation with Mr. Giroux, he said $13,000, not $15,000 more with legal fees. And I did not agree to having this job done by these people, but I did say we needed to get this area in here, in this building, to be taken care of.
November 30th, we're going to have a fall festival. Going to be a lot going on. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be bigger and better than last year. I am looking for some volunteers to get some sponsorships to put signs up on the golf course. So if you're interested, just give me your number at the end of the meeting or at the office. My number's in the book, so just give me a holler because I'm looking for some volunteers. Thank you.
Ms. Smith?
I also was just going to add about the Fall Festival Saturday after Thanksgiving, November the 30th. Again, we're asking for volunteers to help the day of the festival. So if anybody is willing to help the day of the festival, we won't put you to work for the whole day. If we can get enough volunteers, I'd like them to only have to work maybe an hour. The festival's from 10 to 4, so it's 6 hours. but I'd like them to only maybe have to work on something for an hour, whether it's doing the dunk tank, not meaning that you have to go into it, but if you want to go into it, that's okay too. But, or helping with the games, or helping with the food, but only for an hour of your time. So if anybody's interested, either here or out in TV land, be sure and contact me.
Ms. Pasteri.
I also have a committee with the Brookridge Fall Festival. My job is to collect items for our Chinese auction. Any donations would be greatly appreciated, and we're going to have a nice silent auction table, and I will take anything that you want to donate. We will take craft goods, we will take bottles of cheer, whatever you want to donate, you can contact me and I will make arrangements to pick up those items. Thank you.
Mr. Matthews.
I would like to thank all the RV compound members, committee members, and volunteers. We had 7, I believe, members at the walkthrough in July, and a lot got done, and a lot is getting straightened out, and I have to especially thank Ken and Linda Walls for all they've done down there to fix that area. Thank you.
A couple of questions have been asked. We want to respond to those. One was asking the board to rethink naming the event from the Welcome Back Festival to the maybe a Fall Welcome Back Festival. That festival has been renamed to the Brookridge Fall Festival. Access to the golf course for non-members was a letter that we were given. We've addressed that with the board from the Golf Association. They're willing to do that. They're going to come up with a date. They want to know how many people would sign up. They wanted to do that because they'd have to supply golf carts to ride them around through there so they could see it. I told them we couldn't give them a number until they could give us a date. So once we get a date that they'll do that, that will probably be in September. We'll announce that date. We'll ask people that want to view the golf course and want to consider viewing it and see what's there, and maybe the possibility of joining to sign up. Question was asked in regards to account receivables. Account receivables is always income and always will be until the money becomes non-collectible, is charged off to bad debt expenses. If you do not make a monthly payment, then the $43, which is a monthly HOA, and a $5 late fee is added to the receivable total. So that's why account receivable money are shown on the budget report. 4 questions have been addressed by the general manager's report. Community TV channel is back online at channel 732. And there was questions in regards to an Edmund Street home that had many violation and police activity. It's been sold. The home is now vacant. BCPO will remove the 6-foot fences next month for both of those neighbors, and into our inventory for ongoing fence repairs. Member comments? Please come up to the front. You got a microphone. Give us your name and unit number, please.
Three minutes, yes, I know. Gail Metcalf, Unit 6. I'm glad to hear all of our board members talk about the Fall Festival. And I came to a meeting yesterday, and before I could sit down, I said, Gail, you are the chairman. They pretty much did that, right, Linda? Yes. Yes, you did. So the name now is going to be the 2nd Annual Brookridge Fall Festival and Golf Scramble. And we had thrown that around last year at the end of the festival because some people had a problem with the welcome back. I just want to let everybody know that it's Saturday, November 30th from 10 to 4. And this event will be for all our residents to enjoy a good old-fashioned party. We will have things such as games, lunch, a Chinese auction, a golf cart raffle, and a dunk tank. Also, we will have a car show and music, And we might have some other things, and next month, by the end of this month, we will know. And the Golf Scramble will include 2 hole-in-one contests that will have a new auto and a new golf cart. All funds raised will be shared equally between the Brookridge community and the Golf Association. More information will come in as our festival committee complete their plans. We just want to ask everybody to come to the party to enjoy the weather, new and old friends, and just have some fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Metcalf. Others? Mr. Harrison?
Paul Harrison, Unit 3. Just a couple of quick things. I only got 3 minutes. In June, a gentleman came before the board asking for a variance on his air conditioning unit was in violation because it was so high off the ground. At that time, you also gave him it was a 30-day extension for the board to review that. As of this date, we have not heard anything from the board as what happened to that. Linda, when I spoke to you last, you said at this meeting you were going to give a detailed report on what the sign was. Right now you're just saying we're $1,600 short. What were the expenses for A, B, C, and D? So I didn't hear that tonight. My last thing is the floor. In April, at the workshop meeting, the board was going with a floor that was a total neutral color compared to this white floor, which I think is disgraceful. It's a mess. It shows all the dirt, and that's what you're going with. And of course, you picked out a different floor. Was this a cheaper floor? Did the contractor give you a break on it? And second, another thing I want to talk about, Ray threw a lot of figures out to him, 87,000, 15, whatever. What is the final cost of this floor to the residents here of Brookridge? And how much over budget is it? Like I said, all we heard was numbers, 19, 15, 4, 1,000, 87,000. And like Mrs. Nutter said there, when you do a contract with somebody, you just don't give them, I don't know how much you gave them up front, 87,000? My normal way would be you give them a third on the starter job, a third halfway through, and of course this gentleman never finished, so he may have not gotten that full $87,000. They're all of us, all our money which goes into that fund there, which the reserve fund, which funds the projects here in our community. I think we deserve a little bit more transparency as to what's going on here. And I just don't like the way this money was being spent, even though we have over $1 million in the reserves. Thank you.
Other comments? Mr. Jerome, is the financial accounting that we're looking at, is that back to the back on the table?
No,
Okay, thank you.
just to the directors. It's like the treasurer's report, we don't publish it online.
Other member comments? Ms. Nutter? Oh, Ms. Webster? Whichever one.
Ms. Metcalf, you said something in your statement about funding for the golf course and us. Could you repeat that, please? I didn't really understand that.
When we had our first festival last year, okay, we wanted to welcome back because a lot of people had come back, and we had asked the funding for last year was specifically for the sign, okay? So all of the funds, the golf course closes down their golf course for the day, and the golfers all contribute. They all contributed to the sign. the understanding was when we don't have something that affects all of Brookridge, because the sign is, the Golf Association, they have to be Brookridge residents first, okay? So all the money went to the sign last year. When we don't have any place where we're going to, in particular where they're going to put it, we had said that we would, because they take about half the people that come are from there. And we said that we would split it in half. Whatever funds that we made this year, half would go into the BCPO and half would go into the BCCGA, i.e. the Golf Association. And that was what the committee last year, the festival committee last year had agreed to. So when there isn't something, but we have to be fair about this. They have, because they have shut down their golf course for the day. Right? They're not making any money there for the day. We all belong to Brookridge. And when there is something special, then, you know, we'll talk about having all the money go towards something because it will all be for Brookridge. But right now, this year, we don't have it earmarked for anything special. So that was the agreement, so that they would continue to, and we're trying to continue to bring more people together, the golfers and the non-golfers. So that was a decision made by the committee, the festival committee last year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is directed to the flooring. In your report, Ray, and which is what we as the board approved originally, was $124,260. And then we approved an additional $10,040 for a change in the tile. However, and I might be wrong in this, but if I'm looking at this report, it looks like all of these expenses are for the flooring and the wainscoting, which comes to $170,555. So if I take the $134,300 originally approved by this board, and I see it's $170,555, that's an increase of $66,000. What am I missing?
The floor preparation. The floor preparation was never a known factor. That was $19,535. You have a contract. If you go back to your agenda, you'll see that contract, floor preparation, will be extra. So, Mr. Ross? Any objection? I'll go right down the line. Payments. 87,295.10. There's the contract was down payment. That was the down payment. Each contractor is different. Some don't even get paid until after. So contractors are different. There's no written one-third, one-third, one-third. So, $1,499.03 was for the total of 2 pod storage containers outside. The asbestos testing from the state requirement, the asbestos removal for $4,750. And if you're not writing this down, I'm sure you can watch the tape tomorrow and just slow it down and throw a calculator on it if you want. The floor preparation was $19,535.20. We paid Shaw Direct for the additional flooring out of Georgia, $30,474.06. We paid the dumpster that the contractor negated on $225 and got a contractor's lien release for. Home Depot, we bought wainscoting for $797.77. Home Depot wainscoting for the South Hall, $2,612.09. We paid $1,000 to install the wainscoting. We paid the 2 installers. One was Tony $2,146, and we got a contractor's lien release. Also, all this information was through our attorney, so we have an attorney's bill too. Nelson Aguilar, we paid him $3,500 and got a lien release. Floor Design, which was the second contractor, that was the recommendation of our attorney to go out and get a second quote. Their first quote before Randy continued working, the first quote was closer to $30,000. So the contractor continued to work by himself without these other two contractors or installers. So he basically continued to work till 7 o'clock by himself and got the $30,000 quote down to $11,000, or rounded up to $12,000. But again, we paid Floor Design $11,985. We paid Floor Design Additions $3,736. So the total payments, okay, so this is as transparent as we can be for you. $170,000, $555.25.
So why are we so sympathetic that he worked till 7 or 8 o'clock?
I'm not sympathetic to him. I'm just sympathetic to the, the position that he was in. Obviously, he was a bad manager as far as financing, run his own company. He's only been in business since 2004. I'm sure he didn't get to 2019 and just, all of a sudden changes his processes. I don't know. I can't answer that. I can answer what the board hired us to do, was hire the contractor. We agreed to do this. This is what we did. We had a contract. We agreed to increase to a different, after we had that 124, the board agreed to get a thicker tile, another 10,000. So you were all informed in this decision. Everybody knew what was going on. We're not going to stop the whole process when we have, October coming. We needed to get this job done fast. All this was done with Ron Ross, and you were here, but you came in later. I understand that, but everybody, we tried to get this decision process. These are management decisions. This is what we had to do to get this place back online for the residents at the least expensive cost to the residents.
Well, Ray, I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the work that's been done here. It just, my question is, and I will go back and I will review the contracts and everything, I just think that the overage is tremendous. And I know that my vote was for the $124, $260, and the $10,040. I don't know, was this a management decision to continue to, and I know it had to be done, I'm not saying that, I'm not arguing that point, I'm just saying, who made the final decisions as the job went along in order to get the job done? That is part of my question.
Who would you like to blame?
No, I'm not blaming him.
You are. I mean, that's it. Who's going to make the decision? I'm going to make the decision.
Okay.
With my president, my CEO's information. I'm sharing this information with him, and this is a problem. This is a management problem. And we, as Vince as well, he was in the whole loop, and we're faced with a dilemma.
And Ray, I understand that, and I'm not accusing anybody. I don't want you to think that I am. I'm just asking a question so I can understand.
Who
and maybe
made the decision? I made the decision with my president's confirmation that I can make the decision to continue this way. I shared the attorney's recommendations with the president. The attorney has notified Randy overall in writing and certified mail. He's been notified. So, I mean, if we ever get him into a courtroom, we'll be getting $35,000 plus expenses out of him.
Right. But I don't want you to think that I'm accusing anybody. I'm just asking.
It's not accusations that I'm not against. I'm just saying we had a decision to get this
for myself and for the residents. That's my question.
And we're on TV right now, so there's no hiding this. I'm saying this loud, you can replay it all on YouTube, so there's no, there's no mystery anymore, okay?
Okay, thanks, Ray.
Other member comments? Seeing none, I'll
Yes,
accept the motion.
I have one.
I thought you were going to make a motion.
No,
Member
Mr.
Collins.
Paul. Mr. Paul, and all residents of Brookridge. The last time you questioned the contractor for the front sign was $17,000. And Home Rescue, their bid was $17,500 for the sign. But then we had to add in the electrical, which was $4,555. Then we had, with Linda Stewart's generous discount to get all of the letters for the new sign, that was $2,559. Engineering was another $1,500. And that come up to $26,114. Our total expenses are $26,130.12, of which our donations are $24,532.75, a shortage of $1,597.37. So I hope, that answers your questions. And if anybody else has any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to get with me. Thank you.
Ralph, the AVRC always meets the day after the regular board meeting at 9 o'clock at the office. So that's every month. Just to let you know, 9 o'clock.
No other comments, I'll accept the vote.
Just a couple more things. Paul asked a question tonight about an air conditioner. Do we owe him an answer for that?
I can give an answer at the next meeting.
Okay. Another thing that I had thought about that was taken under advisement, and I'm not exactly sure what meeting, it was barking dogs, and it was taken under advisement they were going to place barking collars on the dogs. Never heard another word. I don't know if that was resolved or what. I've had several people ask me what happened with that.
If I remember correctly, the homeowner was asked, homeowner said if it continued, they received complaints, that they would do that. There's been no more complaints on that element. Mr. Harrison, you had your hand up?
Paul Harrison, Unifor. Thank you, Linda, for that detailed report. And just a couple comments on the floor. When we do a contract with, is this gentleman who Nature Coast, was he the low bidder? He wasn't? No way. He's the highest bidder. But why did we take some?
All contractors are scrutinized. They're checked for financial and everything else. That's why this was just kind of like a bombshell.
Because we're
He was like
doing the parking lot.
He wasn't the cheapest one. He was not the cheapest.
Paul, for me to answer your question, I'd have to go back and review the contracts. I know that there were different amounts on there, and the contractors were bidding on different materials that they were suggesting. So to say why Nature Coast was chosen at that point by the board, I'd have to go back and do a review of the.
Do we do a background check on the contractor?
I'd have to go back and do a review of the bid that were given to us. And I'll be glad to give you an answer at that at the next meeting, which is going to be on September the 3rd.
Okay. All right. Just thanks for this, spending a lot of money, that's all. Thank you.
We realize that at the same point. Other member comments?
Well, and I think that, am I right, that Nature Coast was the one who did the remodeling of the bathrooms in the clubhouse? No, it was not them? Okay, I'm wrong.
I'm down back and I'm hearing a lot of rumblings. why we didn't go with the cheapest. There's a lot of factors about that. I sat in Ron's seat for 3 years, and before that, I did it for another 10 years. Who is the cheapest? You have to look at everything, the materials, and what they're going to do, their prep and stuff. And it's a really hard decision when they're sitting up there and everybody is saying, oh, why didn't we go with the cheapest? Well, have you ever had contractors come to your house and you get a couple of bids, and that lowest bid, shabby work or whatever, I just want, just give those people a chance to come back before we talk about it more. I just wanted to say that.
As I said before, I'll review those contracts, and I'll give you an answer at the next Tuesday meeting. Other member comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And a motion by Mr. Sajak, second by Ms. Smith. Meeting is adjourned.